This lovely human being, the brother of James Truong, has been missing since Christmas Eve when he went fishing on the Newport jetty in the morning. He hasn't been seen since that time. If you have any information about his whereabouts, if you saw something or have any other information that might help, we ask you to please give Rose a call, and please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. The Friedman Adventures family is really good at doing that. Blessings to you all. Good morning, my dear friends. Getting ready to set up for the morning briefing. And oh my God, what a beautiful sunrise this morning in Surfside, California. And so much to talk to you about. But I just had to marvel at this and share it with you. What a great reason. Even though I'm really, really sick. You know, I get up and do the morning briefing, feel really good, and then the rest of the day, I feel like crap. Even though I'm not feeling 100%, man, this lifts me up and makes me feel so much better. I'll quit blabbing, but man, I just thought you'd enjoy seeing this gorgeous, beautiful sunrise here on this lovely Sunday morning. Back with the morning briefing in a moment. How about a big yellowfin tuna for the New Year celebration? This angler in an arduous battle out of Abigail Sport Fishing in San Jose del Cabo shows us that they're still around. Pure joy on this young man's face down in the Bay of LA fishing with Joel Sport Fishing. Yellowtail are still biting in absolutely pristine and calm conditions, but this young man is not only going to learn how to catch them, he's going to learn how to gaff them. Special moments for Joel Sport Fishing in the Bay of LA.
Kayak fishing that you could launch a kayak from the shore and hook into big fish right there in my backyard. And I bought a used 9-foot paddle kayak. I just would go out to La Jolla every single day. For the experiences, because you're actually there experiencing 100%. And the next level is the people that you meet. One of the first guys I ran into was Yanni. Had a spinning reel from Walmart that I had picked up. He goes, go to Squidco, get yourself a conventional reel, put braided line on it. In the summertime, we do something called fly lining with no weight, you know, and try to get a yellowtail. And so when I saw him a couple weeks later out there in La Jolla, I go, Yanni, check it out. I went to Squidco. I got my... Go, man, this kid actually listens. I've learned through fishing is listening and observing and knowing that you can learn something from everybody.
Absolutely.
In August, I got my first yellowtail.
If that garage door has become a pain in your arse, there's only one man to call, and it's Joe Welker, your garage door man. The tax man, Tim Marquez, will help you net your tax refunds. He's been doing this for 35 years. You can trust the tax man. Make sure you keep your roof watertight with Pelican Roofs SoCal so you can get back to catching more fish. And you can trust Mario Vega with your estate planning. Make sure your rods and reels and fishing equipment go to the right person when you plot.
Get out of bed and wake up the kids, 'cause you know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Fishing reports up and down the coast. Your Phil Friedman, your coffee-loving host. So much fishing intel, it feels like cheating when you tune into the morning briefing. Inshore, offshore, from the surf, bluefin, yellowtail, pod, surf, perch. They'll tell you where the fish are and what they're eating when you tune into the morning briefing. So give it a like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified of all the fishing content coming your way. Friedman Adventures is here to make your fishing day. It's a morning briefing, morning briefing.
And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, make sure you give John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning a call today. There's nothing like fishing with Captain Daniel Hottaway on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. And the El Patron, headed to Catalina Island every single day out of Long Beach Sport Fishing. Hit that like button, please. Share this video everywhere. And make sure you subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Thank you all for doing that. Really appreciate it. Also, tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, deplorable little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Rolling up on another big foamer. Oh, look at the whale right here. Oh! Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to absolutely pristine, beautiful, gorgeous Southern California. This is Surfside, California, and it is indeed a pleasure for me to be with you here at sunrise this gorgeous morning. The ocean has calmed down. There's no wind. It's chilly, no doubt about it, but that sunrise back behind me is just absolutely breathtaking. And we've got a lot to talk about, including some wide open yellowtail fishing and the Independence with my friend Ernie Montano. He's in that area as we speak, just starting to catch some yellows. We're going to talk about the long range situation. There's really good fishing going on in Mexico during this time of the year. Whether you're down in Cabo San Lucas fishing La Paz or even down in Ensenada, we're going to cover all that for you. We'll talk about what's going on here in Southern California as the clock is ticking on the rockfish season. It ends on December the 31st, so now is a good time for you to get out and take advantage of that. We'll ride you up all the way to San Francisco and beyond. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. I do need that cup of hot coffee because my little tootsies, talking about the Tootsie Report, are frozen by the end of the day. One more time, can I show it to you because it's gorgeous. It is absolutely breathtaking here this morning. Perfect time to give you a quick Tootsie Report, and then we're going to get in to long range in Mexico and everything else on this gorgeous morning. You know, the air temperature feels like it's about 58 degrees or so. Water temperature feels like it's about, let me guess. Feels good, man. Probably 62 or something like that. My scientific method of bringing you exactly what the water temperature is. This is perfectly fishable, by the way, to get some surf fishing in here this morning. So this looks pretty darn good. But again, when it's rough, the admonition goes out to you. Again, people lose their lives every single year when they go out on these rocks and jetties when the weather is up. Please, when it is nasty, please, please, please make sure you're staying indoors. On the horizon, we've got some fierce Santa Ana winds. That's going to manifest itself starting tonight and go through Tuesday. And then after that, we got more rain here in Southern California heading this way. We'll keep our eyes on all of that for you and keep you apprised of the very latest on board the Polaris Supreme yesterday. First of a 5-day trip, $170 on the Yellowtail. Tremendous fishing, yo-yo ironfish down the Baja coast, a few hundred miles. It was really outstanding fishing for the Polaris Supreme yesterday. The Royal Polaris, as you're checking out some of their catch, had equally as good yellowtail fishing. So those 5-day trips that left San Diego, most of those guys are in on some really good fishing. The Independence is in that area right now. Just started catching some yellowtail before I came down here. I was talking to Ernie Montano. They had breakfast and he said, hey, we're starting to catch some forkies here. The yellows are biting on the yo-yo iron, surface iron, and on bait, and you could probably catch them on an old sock. They're biting so good. So really good signal and sign. While the Independence is going to spend their day in that yellowtail zone, the Royal Polaris and Polaris Supreme are out looking for more tuna. We'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. Jeff Lingle runs the yacht for the Department of defense, a true patriot. We love Jeff, and he's always feeding us information. He picked off some fish in and around where the Polaris, Supreme Royal Polaris and Independence caught those yellowtail, but offshore picked off a few yellowfin and bluefin tuna, mostly BFT in that zone. Last night he opted, however, to keep going south. They said the weather was still up a little bit, and so he decided to head on south. And now that I think about it, I'm not sure that he mentioned yellowfin in that area. I think it was all bluefin tuna in that zone. But he opted to get out of there, not fish that at night, and go down south looking for some wahoo, looking for some yellowfin tuna down in the warmer, calmer waters. Remember, Jeff travels at about 30 knots, 10 hours. He's 300 miles. So, I mean, he books on that yacht, and we'll get a report from him hopefully in the live chat here this morning. Jeff joins us all the time. You know, you can join us in the live chat when these videos premiere. Whenever you see a premiere imminent, you're able to get into the live chat and you can ask Jeff a question or any number of the crazy people who are in that live chat every single morning, including yours truly. I try to be there all the time. So good long range stuff going on. I mentioned there's some really good fishing in Cabo San Lucas right now. There's good striped marlin fishing. There's been Dorado, and there's been nice yellowfin tuna fishing down in that neck of the woods. Last time I talked to Jonathan Roldan at Tail Hunter International, he said the inshore bite was really good in La Paz, but also they continue to catch some Dorado in that neck of the woods. We'll bring you up to Ensenada, 70 miles down below the border, where rockfish abound. It's been fantastic on the rockfish. Tons of bonito. And not only are operators like Blackfin Sport Fishing and Sammy Susare catching that rockfish in bonito, but guys that are fishing on the rocks down there, some of the shoreline fishermen have been putting the wood to the bonito down there, doing really, really great. So good stuff. Last time we got a check of offshore around Ensenada was about 10 days ago. Jeff Lingle threw a Mad Mac back behind the boat and caught a bluefin tuna with a very little effort in that zone. I think that's a real possibility. We're going to go through another period of rain here. Doesn't look like it's going to be too much down there in Ensenada, but it looks like New Year's Eve we're going to start to get some rain here in SoCal, and it might bleed down that far. Doesn't look like too much. We'll see how much wind accompanies that. That really is the most important thing, just how much wind we get. So really good fishing south of the border right now. Hope you can get down there and enjoy that very, very soon. We're also watching very closely the island situations down there at the Coronado Islands. Good bonito fishing and rockfish here in the LA Orange County area. Not many boats venturing out to the islands right now. Catalina Island, we've seen a variety of fish there, blue perch and a couple of calico bass from time to time, but it's been mostly the deep water cod. Sheephead and whitefish also for private boaters that have been fishing there. San Nicolas Island, the El Dorado was just there and had good sheephead, whitefish, deep water cod fishing. And up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to see great fishing for the deep water cod. It's been excellent on board the Island Spirit. Out of course, Ventura Sport Fishing. They just continue to do a great job. And once again, that's all going to close down December the 31st at midnight. And then it doesn't open up again until April the 1st. So get out with Daniel. He's out today, hopefully doing a great, well, he's doing a great job. We know that. But hopefully catching lots of fish as we start to wind down into the new year. Santa Barbara, same thing. Great rock fishing up there. Avila Beach, Morro Bay. Very, very good fishing yesterday as our weather cleared up and things were much better. So that is really good to hear that. And then we ride you up to San Francisco, California on this beautiful morning. We'll ride you up there, and there is tremendous rock fishing and lots of Dungeness crab for the boys up there. They can take 10 Dungeness crab per angler, and then they fish rockfish, limit out on that. It's been really, really spectacular. Really great fishing going on up there in San Francisco. Let's talk about our coastal bite now and get into that with you. The dolphin yesterday. Really good bonito fishing in the morning. Slowed up a little bit in the afternoon, but still excellent fishing going on for Bonito down there. Fly line bait, you know, a small heavy jig like that was a conical sniper, something like that. Works really, really well. Also, surface iron works well. But that fly line bait is going to get you bit every single time. And it's been good down there in San Diego, California. You know, seems like that Ensenada fish. Remember, there was a time when San Diego was not catching, but Ensenada was. And I kept saying we just needed to bleed up. And it's been there now for a while. And John Ho, our dear friend, is on board the Dolphin this morning. Hopefully they're having a great start to their day. Glenn Saldivar. Glenn from Honey Badger Baits was on the premiere, and they were all over the Bonito yesterday, having a really great time and catching lots of those boneheads. They are fun to catch, and there's been so many of them, several other boats on it. Also, the Sea Watch, not only on the Bonito, but he had a yellowtail, a halibut, 12 calico bass. Really good fishing for local boats in San Diego. I don't know how you can beat that up there around Dana Point. We continue to see some Bonito also. Most of the local guys here today, look at that gorgeous, beautiful ocean. Man, most of the local guys today are going to focus on either sheephead or whitefish. I'm talking about here in the LA Orange County area, Newport, San Pedro, Long Beach, up into Redondo. They're going to focus on that or go deep water cod fishing. The Monte Carlo had 80 people yesterday, and they ended up with, what was it, 575 whitefish? May not be the biggest whitefish in the world, but that is one heck of a good number for local fishing, pushing 600 whitefish on the Monte Carlo out of 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. I don't know how you can beat that. That's some pretty darn good fishing. So really good, you know, bottoms kind of bite right now for these local guys. Nick Ramirez, a proud Friedman Adventures family member. And I mean, I'm proud to have him in our club because he is such a great guy and such an inspiration. He, of course, was on the Spitfire yesterday catching those structured bass. Man, we talk about bad neighborhoods, man. What's that mean to you when you think about a bad neighborhood? I'm almost sure it was Nick Curcione, my sociology professor at Loyola Marymount University, but a great long-range fisherman, and he's written several books on fly fishing and long-range fishing back in the day. I'm pretty sure Nick coined that term, bad neighborhoods, and by that we mean where there's a lot of structure, there's rocks, there's an old shipwreck, there's a refrigerator, there's some kind of junk that those bass can come out of their hole, bite your bait, and run you back in to that structure and saw you off. And that's what we mean by bad neighborhoods. I pay tribute to Nick Curcione for coming up with that great description of exactly what we're talking about. And up there yesterday on the Spitfire out of Marina del Rey, Nick said, man, I lost, you know, 15, 20 bucks worth of tackle today. Those sandies got me back into that structure. Good fishing up there in that neck of the woods on sand bass, few calico bass, sculpin also in the mix, occasional halibut from time to time. Last night on the new Del Mar, John Flood and Earl the Pearl McVicker put the wood to the sand bass twilight fishing. They had some really good fishing, and they're fishing that kind of bad neighborhoods also, but really good stuff. You can't beat it, man. That is some fun stuff. It's December, my little tootsies are frozen, and we're still catching bass here in the local area. That is good stuff. Let me show you that beautiful ocean. It is so nice here this morning as I'm getting ready to talk about the surf bite. And as I look out there, man, you make a cast with a Lucky Craft right now or a Chrome Crocodile, and you stand the chance to hook something really, really good here this morning. Beautiful, gorgeous morning, no doubt about that. You're gonna wait for that last wave to break, and right now you're making a cast and coming through there with that artificial, or you can just go to the Berkeley Camo Gulp. That works really good. Ask my friend Wayne Shima Bakuro, who's been catching, well, he hadn't been out recently. Wayne, what are you doing, man? Get out there. he's been picking off, when he was fishing, a lot of bar perch and even a halibut or two from time to time. Down there around Newport Beach, California, down there in that neck of the woods, we see some bar perch, walleye perch. No real numbers on Corvina now. Water's getting a little too cold for that. A little bit of yellowfin croaker from time to time, and there's a possibility of a halibut or two. Same thing down there where you see that gorgeous sunrise. Right there at Anderson Street, Pacific Coast Highway, where you see that water tower, the old water tower, that's been pretty good for an occasional halibut, some barb perch, and those big jacksmel. Jeff Perea has been catching a lot of those. As we move you up toward Long Beach, California, we continue to see some pretty good fishing in that neck of the woods. Hey, quiet down. See some pretty good fishing up there in that neck of the woods for some bar perch and also an occasional halibut. And El Segundo area has been good on the fish, mostly walleye perch and bar perch. That's been good up there around El Porto is a good area to fish. Doug Tilk, we need you to get your butt out there here and give that a try. Ventura, excellent bar perch fishing south of the border. You know, all kinds of venues down there where the bar perch fishing can be absolutely phenomenal, off the hook kind of fishing. All right, Santa Ana winds going to manifest themselves here this evening. We'll watch that for you very closely. And then rain, it sounds like, on New Year's Eve. I think New Year's is pretty clear, and then after that we get some more rain depending upon where you find yourself in Southern California. It could be fairly heavy at times, but it is not as big a storm as the last one that went through here. All right, my friends, what can I tell you other than it's a gorgeous morning here in Surfside? I hope you're having a lovely day as we start to head toward the New Year's. Of course, here at Friedman Adventures, we have all kinds of great stuff planned for you. We'll keep you in touch with the very latest. Ernie Montano on the Independent says he'll check in a little bit later and let me know what kind of numbers they have on their Yellowtail. So I'll keep you up to date on that, and we'll be keeping you up to date until we hit the new year and wrap it up even more. Take care, my friends. Happy New Year, and I hope to see you really, really soon.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. We all know what that means. We're all heading over to YouTube for Phil Friedman's Morning Briefing. And the regulars are all in the chat room, 'cause that's where we all have a ball. And first there is the cranker, who's such a wanker and usually makes no sense at all. Oh, la-dee-da-dee-dee-da, la-da-dee-dee-da-da-dum. We all love Friedman Adventures. We watch everything you upload. So keep putting out all that content. We'll be here for the next episode. Mondays it's Danny Cadota. Everyone loves the show, 'cause Captain Cadota is your fishing Yoda. He's forgot more than you'll ever know. Later on, it's Tackle Shop Confessions. Sam will answer any question you've got. And it's no hassle to get in the raffle. You might just win a Z custom rod. Oh, la-dee-da-dee-dee-da, la-da-dee-dee-da-da-dum. We all love Friedman Adventures. We watch everything you upload. So keep putting out all that content. We'll be here here for the next episode. Wednesday is Lobster Chronicles. The show, it really is great. And Promar is here with all your lobster gear, and Brian will probably be late. Sometimes Phil does a showdown in Mexico with his beautiful co-host Pauline. And Scott Bucher will try to catch Pauline's eye, and he'll probably cause a big scene. Oh, la-dee-da-dee-dee-da-da, la-da-dee-dee-da-da-do. We all love Friedman Adventures. We watch everything you upload. So keep putting out all that content. We'll be here for the next episode.